Security cameras inside a manufacturing facility captured a horrifying moment, a reminder that danger can appear where we least expect it. In the footage, a worker approaches a piece of machinery to perform a routine inspection. His attention remains focused on the equipment at ground level, completely unaware of the hazard hanging directly above him. Without warning, a heavy object suddenly breaks loose and plummets from above at high speed, striking the worker with tremendous force. The unexpected impact knocks him to the ground instantly, leaving him no chance to react or protect himself. Nearby coworkers can only watch in shock as the incident unfolds within seconds. This video delivers a powerful warning. In industrial environments, wearing a safety helmet and checking for overhead hazards is just as critical as operating machinery safely. Security cameras at a gas station captured a terrifying moment when an ordinary day suddenly turned into a potential disaster. In the footage, a vehicle is stopped at the pump, refueling as usual. Without warning, a violent flame erupts from the fuel tank opening and rapidly spreads across the vehicle. Within seconds, intense heat and thick black smoke fill the area, sending everyone nearby into panic as they rush to escape. At the center of the danger, a gas station employee bravely grabs a fire extinguisher and moves toward the flames, managing to bring the fire under control and prevent what could have been a catastrophic explosion capable of devastating the entire station. This video delivers a powerful warning. Always follow fire safety rules at gas stations. Even a small mistake or a single spark from an electronic device can ignite a massive hazard right beneath your feet. Security cameras captured a rare but extremely dangerous workplace accident, a reminder of how a moment of carelessness can lead to immediate consequences. In the footage, a man and a woman are seen working together to load cargo onto the back of a truck. Focused on pushing the heavy packages deeper inside, the man becomes completely absorbed in the task and loses awareness of his surroundings. In a brief moment of inattention, he steps backward without realizing he is standing right at the edge of the truck bed. Within seconds, he loses his balance and falls freely from the height of the truck onto the hard ground below. The sudden fall leaves his coworker frozen in shock, unable to react as the incident unfolds. This video serves as a costly lesson for anyone working at height. Always maintain awareness of your footing and position. Sometimes a single misstep is all it takes to risk serious injury or even a life. Security cameras at this construction site captured a tragic moment, one that unfolded in seconds and left no time for escape. High above the ground, a worker waits in position, preparing to detach the lifting hook as an excavator moves in to deliver heavy equipment. Everything appears routine, and the operation seems under control. But in a single moment of impatience, as the excavator bucket approaches, the worker steps forward too quickly. That is when disaster strikes. The heavy load suddenly shifts after losing stability on uneven ground. With no time to retreat, the multi-ton steel structure crashes downward, striking the worker directly and leaving him motionless at the scene. This incident serves as a harsh reminder. In heavy machinery environments, impatience can become deadly. One rushed decision is sometimes all it takes for a routine task to turn into a fatal accident. Security cameras at the worksite captured terrifying moments during what seemed like a routine work shift. In the footage, a forklift is lifting a bundle of heavy steel bars straight upward, raising the load vertically into the air. The operation appears normal at first glance. Below the suspended load, a worker walks around the operating area, unaware of the danger zone surrounding the machinery. Without warning, the excessive weight of the steel bundle shifts the center of gravity, creating a powerful forward pull that destabilizes the forklift. In an instant, the machine loses balance and tips forward under the overwhelming load. The unfortunate worker is struck before having any chance to react, leaving nearby witnesses frozen in shock. This incident stands as a painful lesson. Always maintain a safe distance when heavy machinery is in operation. A single moment inside the danger zone can turn an ordinary workday into tragedy. Security cameras at a waste processing facility captured a moment that shows just how thin the line between life and death can be on the job. Inside the cab, a worker calmly operates a loader, guiding each bucket of trash toward the industrial compactor. Everything appears routine, controlled, just another shift at work. But danger is already waiting. A piece of debris jams the system. Without hesitation, the worker steps down from the cabin and walks toward the compactor to inspect the problem, unaware he is walking straight into a deadly trap. The fatal mistake? The main power was never shut off. As he reaches inside to clear the obstruction, a sensor is accidentally triggered. Metal screeches. The compactor suddenly comes to life. Within seconds, the crushing mechanism activates, destroying everything in its path. There is no warning. No time to escape. The worker is fatally crushed, leaving the scene eerily silent. This footage delivers a chilling reminder. Never gamble with your life by skipping basic safety procedures. Because in industrial environments, one forgotten step can be the last decision you ever make. Security cameras at a construction site captured a horrifying moment, one no worker ever expects to face. Deep underground, crews and heavy machinery are hard at work excavating a road tunnel. Everything seems routine, progress is steady, the operation appears under control. Then, disaster strikes. Within seconds, the tunnel ceiling begins to tremble. Cracks spread across the structure. And suddenly, massive slabs of concrete and tons of earth collapse downward like a violent avalanche. Dust explodes into the air, swallowing the entire space. Visibility disappears. The only escape route is buried beneath choking clouds of debris and chaos. What began as a normal shift instantly turns into a desperate fight for survival. This incident stands as a brutal reminder of the extreme risks faced by underground construction workers every day. In tunneling and geological operations, even the smallest structural failure can trigger a catastrophe no one has time to escape.
This woman chose to take a shortcut by stepping through a narrow space near the pillar instead of going around it. As a result, her jacket got trapped in a rotating machine. Fortunately, her quick-thinking colleagues sprang into action and rescued her just in time, the woman escaping with 0 injuries. A metal dust explosion is a violent reaction that occurs when fine metal particles suspended in the air ignite in the presence of an ignition source. The explosion is caused by the rapid combustion of the finely dispersed metal dust, releasing energy and often leading to fires like this one. Fortunately, all the workers get out in time and didn't suffer any major injuries. Here we can see the importance of setting up a modern automatic fire suppression system. See you and stay safe out there. This is a clear example of why proper equipment is essential when handling heavy objects. Instead of manual pulling, using a forklift or proper lifting tools could have prevented this accident. This accident could have been avoided with better machine design. As the worker loads the mixer with a sack of powder, the sack gets caught. This highlights a major safety flaw. The machine lacks a proper feeding system. A chute or hopper would have allowed materials to be safely loaded without direct contact with the moving parts, preventing this situation. These two workers approach an industrial machine for repairs, but they make a critical mistake. They don't ensure the power is fully disconnected. Without warning, the machine suddenly starts.
Security cameras at a construction site captured a terrifying workplace accident, one that unfolded in only seconds. A group of workers is operating inside a deep excavation area, focused on their tasks and trusting the heavy equipment working above them. Everything appears normal. Then, during a routine swing movement, the excavator rotates with heavy momentum. Suddenly, mechanical failure. The excavator bucket detaches from the arm without warning. The multi-ton steel attachment drops like a falling hammer, crashing directly toward the workers below. There is no time to react, no chance to escape. The impact happens instantly, leaving co-workers frozen in shock as the scene turns from routine work into tragedy. This incident serves as a critical warning. Always inspect locking mechanisms and attachment systems before operating heavy machinery, and never remain within the operating radius of active equipment. Because when heavy machinery fails, seconds are all it takes for disaster to strike. Security cameras along the roadside captured a horrifying traffic accident under the harsh daylight of a busy afternoon. Vehicles move steadily along the road as usual. Amid the traffic, a woman begins crossing the street, unaware that danger is approaching from her side. At the same moment, a forklift travels forward carrying a large, stacked load that completely blocks the operator's view ahead. Neither of them can see the other. Within seconds, the forklift strikes the woman in the middle of the roadway, pushing and dragging her several meters before finally coming to a stop. Bystanders freeze in shock as the reality of the accident sets in. This footage delivers an important safety lesson. Heavy vehicles often have massive blind spots. Never assume a driver can see you, especially around large industrial equipment, because sometimes a single unseen moment is all it takes for tragedy to happen. Security cameras captured what many viewers are calling one of the most dangerous ladder setups ever seen on a job site. In the middle of a construction area, a man builds a makeshift ladder arrangement, leaning steeply upward to reach a height of more than 5 meters. But the risk doesn't stop there. While balancing on unstable steps, he attempts to climb while carrying a heavy cement column in his hands. The added weight shifts his center of gravity. The ladder begins to tilt. There are no safety harnesses, no stabilizers, no second chances. Within seconds, the structure gives way, and the man falls helplessly from the height onto the hard ground below. The outcome becomes inevitable, a painful reminder of what happens when basic safety rules are ignored. This footage delivers a clear warning: shortcuts at height are never worth the risk. Because gravity never forgives mistakes. Security cameras inside a warehouse captured a disturbing and dangerous incident that escalated within seconds. It begins when a forklift accidentally knocks several large rolls of white fabric onto the floor. 2 workers quickly step in to help clear the fallen materials, believing it's just a minor workplace mishap. But the real danger is only beginning. Without warning, the forklift suddenly loses control. The machine jerks forward violently, almost like a runaway beast. The operator desperately fights the controls, trying to regain steering and bring the vehicle to a stop, but the heavy machine keeps moving. In a horrifying moment, the massive wheel rolls forward and crushes the leg of a nearby worker. Shouts echo through the warehouse as panic replaces routine work in an instant. This incident delivers a critical lesson. When machinery malfunctions, personal safety must always come before saving equipment or materials. Because when heavy machines fail, distance is often the only protection you have. Security cameras at a warehouse captured a chilling, life-changing moment. A forklift was attempting to lower several heavy gas cylinders from the back of a truck down to the ground. Below, a man stood directly inside the danger zone, guiding the operation and directing where the load should be placed. But within seconds, a catastrophic failure occurred. The lifting cable suddenly snapped under excessive tension. With nothing left to support the load, the entire stack of gas cylinders plunged downward like an unstoppable avalanche, striking the man below before he had any chance to react or escape. The massive impact knocked him to the ground instantly under the overwhelming weight. This incident stands as a powerful reminder of the importance of regular equipment inspections and the absolute rule: Never stand beneath a suspended load during lifting operations. Security cameras inside a mechanical workshop captured a terrifying workplace accident during equipment assembly. Two workers were fully focused on aligning and connecting a rotating shaft, while directly above them, a massive steel component hung suspended in the air. Within moments, disaster struck. The lifting sling suddenly failed, unable to withstand the weight. The heavy steel block dropped instantly, crushing the thigh of the worker standing on the left side of the frame. The violent impact and cries of pain left everyone nearby in shock. A single oversight in inspecting the lifting cables turned an ordinary work task into a devastating industrial accident. This incident serves as a powerful reminder. In heavy industrial environments, the line between safety and tragedy can be as fragile as a single cable. Security cameras in a loading area captured a sudden and heartbreaking workplace accident. Two men were working together, struggling to push a heavy steel cabinet toward the back of a delivery truck. Everything appeared to be going smoothly as they carefully guided the load forward. But danger was hiding in a small detail. A narrow gap less than 10 centimeters remained between the loading platform and the truck bed. The cabinet's front wheels became stuck instantly. With continued force pushing from behind, the heavy cabinet lost its balance and lurched forward uncontrollably. The worker positioned at the front of the truck had no time to react before the massive cabinet fell directly onto him. This incident serves as a critical reminder. When moving heavy equipment, even a small, uneven surface can become a deadly hazard if careful observation and preparation are overlooked. A surveillance camera in a parking and loading area captured a shocking and terrifying workplace accident. After finishing the loading process, a man hurried to close the automatic rear door of a delivery truck. As the heavy steel door began to move upward, he suddenly stepped back inside, attempting to adjust or retrieve a small item left behind. But a critical miscalculation turned the situation dangerous. He became trapped between the closing door and the truck frame. The automated hydraulic system did not stop. It continued operating, pressing his body tightly against the rear structure with tremendous force. In just a moment of lost awareness and a rushed decision, an ordinary truck door became a deadly hazard. This incident delivers a clear safety warning. Never enter the operating zone of automated machinery while it is still in motion. Security cameras inside a warehouse captured a frightening workplace accident as employees were going about their routine tasks. Two men were standing and talking, completely unaware that a forklift was moving toward them. The vehicle was carrying a large load of wooden panels that completely blocked the driver's forward visibility. Sensing danger at the last moment, one worker tried to step back to avoid the approaching forklift. But the load was too large, and the machine had already come dangerously close, leaving him with nowhere to escape. Suddenly, the unstable stack shifted. The heavy bundle of wooden boards collapsed, burying the unfortunate worker beneath layers of falling timber. This incident once again sounds a serious safety warning about material handling operations. A trained spotter must always guide moving equipment, and workers must maintain a safe distance from operating heavy machinery.
A truck is making a turn, and there's a worker right in its blind spot. The driver can't see him and makes contact. Luckily, the truck stops just in time. The worker slides out from underneath, shaken but safe. Blind spots are no joke. Two cranes on a barge lifting a heavy load together. Something goes very wrong, and one of them tilts and goes over. When one fails in a tandem lift, the other often can't handle the sudden shift in weight. So seconds later, the second crane collapses as well.